Hey everybody, this is Sean V. Bradley, and I want to talk to you about something very serious today, very important: suicide. Suicide in the United States is becoming an epidemic. It's the 10th largest killer in the United States. There are over 45,000 Americans that commit suicide on an annual basis. As a matter of fact, in 2018, the CDC says that suicide has an increase of 30%. Jesus, 30% increase. And I know it tops out in North Dakota at 57% increase in the suicide rate. So you're thinking, why the hell is Sean V. Bradley, the internet BDC trained in the automotive industry, talk to me about suicide? Because folks, suicide is not just, for rock stars or fashion designers or movie stars. Suicide affects everybody. Suicide affects mothers and fathers and kids and friends and family. And suicide has affected my life. And 2 years ago today, July 6, 2016, my ex-wife, Sharon Bradley, the mother of my daughter, Kalina Bradley, committed suicide out of nowhere. And I'll never forget, I was driving to the airport after, successfully training a dealer client. Everything was all great. And as I'm driving to the airport, I get a phone call from a New Jersey State Trooper, and he said, "Mr. Bradley, I'm sorry to inform you, but your ex-wife, Sharon, has passed away." And as I'm driving, I couldn't comprehend what he said. I was like, what? What are you talking about? And he had said, "Yeah, Mr. Bradley, she passed away." And he wouldn't give me any information. And then I had like a panic attack. I had a freaking panic attack as I was driving. I had to literally pull over, and I remember getting out of my car in a parking lot, and I just collapsed, And let me get me wrong, me and my ex-wife weren't on the greatest terms. I mean, like, we went through a divorce, and for 10 years we went back and forth with our daughter and da-da-da-da. But I married this woman. We had a daughter together, and then some random dude tells me that she's no longer alive. I couldn't breathe, and I just collapsed, and I was in tears for not just for Sharon being no longer here, but I was dreading the next 5 minutes of my life, because I had to turn around and tell my daughter that her mother was not here anymore. And I had to do it over a freaking phone. And so I turned around and I called my house, and I called Karen, my wife, and I said, Sharon died. And Karen's like, what? And then like, how am I gonna tell Kalina? And I had to tell my daughter. The hardest thing that I've ever done in my life was to turn around and tell my daughter, my 15-year-old daughter at the time, that her mother had passed away. The screaming and the screeching on the other line from my daughter killed me. It killed me because I couldn't do anything. I'm in a different state. I was in a different state, so far away as my daughter's world is collapsing. It was really just a surreal experience. And for me, I can handle a lot of things, man. The people that know me, I've been through some shit in my life, which we'll get into in a second, but it was the most traumatic experience that I've ever had. And I don't wish it on anybody. And that's why I'm doing this. It took me 2 years to do this. Suicide is a serious thing, and it affects people. It affects people in ways that you have no imagination. So obviously, my daughter's mother was going through something. Something affected her to the point where she felt that she couldn't be here on this planet any longer. Even though she had my daughter and 2 other little kids. She had 3 kids that she left behind. And she loved those kids. There's no doubt in my mind that she loved those kids so much. But love wasn't enough to keep her here. And so I just want to help bring awareness to this horrific situation that is affecting so many people in this country, suicide. And so I want to also share with you another personal reality to me, is that a lot of people know that my background, and this is not about me, by the way, but I want to just correlate here. I've been through massive abuse as a kid, violence I've been subjected to as a kid. I was in a boys' home for 3 years. I was in federal prison for 3 years, and I had all this shit happen to me as a kid. And I'll never forget, when I was a kid, I caught a major case for nightclubs. Look, I didn't kill anybody. I used to run VIP parties in nightclubs with celebrities and ecstasy and stuff like that. And anyway, so try to imagine having a 7-year-old kid that was doing it beyond belief, right? And all of a sudden, Secret Service, DEA come in and swoop on me. And I'll never forget, I was in federal prison at 19 years old, club kid, and I'm thinking, oh my God, my life is over. And I really wish that I was dead. And then, you know, I'll never forget, this is, I don't talk about this as much, I don't talk about any of this stuff at all, but I remember actually having my jumpsuit in my cell and thinking, you know what, I'd be better off if I was dead. I mean, the world came down. You know, I didn't talk to my friends, my girlfriend, my family, nothing, you know? And so I was that close to actually ending it myself. And then as some crazy thing happened, I was in MCC Manhattan in 1996. At the same time, one of the first World Trade Center bombers, a freaking terrorist, is in the same exact cell as I was. I got into a fight or some stupid shit like that, and I was in the same cell in ADSEG. It was 9 South. 9 South and MCC Federal is where they put the hole, if you will. And I'm thinking to myself, if this is the place where the United States government is going to turn around and house me, a frickin' New York club kid, in the same place as a frickin' terrorist, then fuck that. I'm not giving up. You know what I mean? And that's the turning point. It was that close, man. And I fast forward and look at my life now, where I have this amazing life. I have, you know, 4 beautiful children. You know, I'm remarried. I've been with Karen for 11 and a half years. Next month will be our 9-year wedding anniversary. You know, I'm successful, I'm happy, I'm this, I'm that. And if I had hung up, as you call it, none of this would ever happen, you know? But I'm one of the lucky ones. There's so many people out there that don't see what it could be or don't hang on. And again, none of this, Dealer Synergy, Sean Bradley, would have been here if I hung up at 19 years old when I thought the world was over. So I implore you to think about other people. Words become things. You should really see what you can do to help out. Now let me talk to you about some of the stats that I was reading, you know, preparing for this video, and just blew me away. I already mentioned to you that 30% increase, there's a 30% increase in the suicide rate in 2018. Besides that, 60% of people that commit suicide, you know, have mental illness, but 54% of people that commit suicide had never shown any signs of mental illness or signs of suicide. It's an utter shock to people. Men and Hispanics have the highest propensity to commit suicide. They also have the highest propensity not to seek help. However, women are attempt suicide 3 times more than men do. I could go on through stats over and over, but listen, bottom fucking line, suicide is real, and suicide is horrible. And the aftermath is suicide. For me and my family, for my daughter, I don't even know how to act sometimes. I don't know how to help her. And the whole thing about getting help, you can't. It's not as simple as just taking her to a suicide counselor or what have you. You know what I mean? Think about it. She tells me that, you know, Dad, I don't want to be around with a bunch of other kids, that this is there, and just be reminded again, it's hard. So there's not just one way to handle this. There's no blueprint on how to help a teenage girl with the loss of her mother. Her mother. It's horrific. So the only thing I could do is this, is help use my platform and help people, you know, with awareness. There's a lot that you can do to help. Go to www.suicidepreventionlifeline.org, and it's got a tremendous amount of information. For example, is just ask. By asking people if they feel depressed, if they feel like they might be considering suicide as an option, believe it or not, studies show that most of them appreciate someone asking and someone being proactive to what their situation might be. Ask them, keep them safe, learn more about what's going on, get them connected, follow up. So just asking and being proactive, trying to cut off a potential travesty is one thing you could do. Second thing you could do is volunteer. That's what I'm doing. I went to suicidepreventionlifeline.org. I found a local crisis center that's going to be in Burlington, New Jersey. I already reached out to them this morning on my way to work today, and I'm going to be volunteering myself. I don't know who else I'm going to get to come with me, but Sharon Bradley's going to be volunteering. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll do whatever they need. They need me to make calls, answer calls, sweep the floor, whatever. I'm going to actually volunteer my time because it's important. So if you can volunteer your time in some capacity, please consider volunteering. Now, obviously, donating to the cause would obviously help. It will help fund marketing, advertising, branding, counselors, resources, and everything that's needed to combat this situation. Now, on the website, again, www.suicidepreventionlifeline.org, it'll give you all the information to donate. Just be careful wherever you donate. What I found out, because we donate a tremendous amount of money to different charities over the years, is that some organizations only pass on a small percentage of what you actually donate. So just inquire, if you donate $1, how much of that dollar actually gets to the place that you're donating? If it's 10 cents on the dollar, it's not a really good place. So you got to be careful of agencies or intermediaries besides the organization. You probably want to go directly to the organization, and that way they don't have to, cut out the middleman, a piece of what could really help someone's life being saved. Another thing that the Suicide Prevention Lifeline suggests that we all do is create a video support message between 15 and 30 seconds long that you could post on social media, you could post wherever on your blog, and you could use the script that I'm about to give you, which is coming directly from the website, or you could modify it with your own personal flair. But here's the following message I'd like you to record. Hey friends, I make this promise today that I will listen to anything that you have to say. You are important to me. No matter what, the lifeline is there, and so am I. You can count on me. Additionally, use the hashtags. Hashtag suicide is preventable. Hashtag 800-273-TALK and hashtag let it out. Use these hashtags all over social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and connect with other people. Let people that are going through this difficult time know that there's other people out there that are willing to listen to them and be there for them. In conclusion, I'm going to leave you with one more stat, the one that haunts me the most. Children of a parent that has committed suicide are 3 times as likely to commit suicide themselves. That scares the ever-loving shit out of me. I worry about my daughter. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm doing this. I want to get involved. I want to help. And I need you to help me fight this epidemic out there. So please get connected. Again, go to www.suicidepreventionlifeline.org. Call 1-800-273-TALK. Whether you want to get involved or whether you're feeling like you need to talk to somebody. And as I just put in my promise, if anyone out there needs to talk to me or would like to just share what's going on, or if there's any way that I can help them in any way possible, please. My personal cell phone number is 267-319-6776. Again, that's 267-319-6776. And you could call me, you could text me at any time of the day. It does not matter. I'm here for you. Thank you so much.